This story is almost 200 years old from today, where we are shown a girl named Ellen in the dark. She is saying to someone, "Come to me," and then a voice comes from the dark, "You have woken me up, now you are mine." Ellen replies, "Yes." The next moment, Ellen is shown to us in some other world where the power that she had called gets intimate with her, and then Ellen's eyes open. Actually, this is her dream. Ellen is now married. She lives with her husband in Germany. There is a lot of love between Ellen and her husband Thomas. Thomas works in a real estate company from where he is asked to go to another city for 6 weeks because a very rich man named Count Orlok lives there. Now he has retired, and he wants to buy a house in the city where Ellen and Thomas live. In return, Thomas will get a good commission, and his position will also increase. However, he does not want to leave his wife Ellen, but this is a big opportunity in his career. That is why he comes home and tells Ellen about this, hearing which Ellen gets upset. She tells Thomas that you should not go. I feel that if you go, there can be trouble in our life. Along with this, she is also getting very bad dreams. But Thomas explains to her that if I get the deal done, then with the commission money I will get, we can buy a very good house. Alan still has fear in his heart. That is why before leaving, Thomas takes him to his friend's house, who lives with his wife and 2 daughters, so that Alan does not get scared. Alan gives Thomas his locket, which is heart-shaped, and Alan's hair is also inside that locket. On the other side, we are shown a man who is doing a strange ritual. He has a book in which he is engraving something, and at the same time he is calling someone. We are shown Thomas, who reaches the place where he has to meet Count Orlok. Here, people are doing a strange dance. Thomas asks their leader, "Can you tell me the address of Count Orlok's fort? I want to meet him." Hearing his name, the leader says that he is a devil, and if you also want your well-being, then go back to your home, but Thomas wants to meet him and crack the deal. Thomas notices that people here have a lot of garlic, and a lady is praying for him. He is told that the shadow of the Count and Orlok gives a person bad dreams, and he should stay away from them, but he wants to meet the Count and Orlok at any cost. Thomas decides to spend the night at this place. When he sleeps at night, he gets a very bad dream. The next morning when he wakes up, he has to decide his journey to reach Count Orlok's fort, so he leaves from here. Then a horse cart passes by him, which he is about to collide with, but he comes to know that this horse cart has been sent by Count Orlok for him, so he sits in that horse cart and reaches Count Orlok's fort. Although his health has deteriorated, he is ready to meet him at any cost. But Count wants to meet Orlok. He sees that Count and Orlok are standing in the dark. They look very scary. Count and Orlok get angry with him and say that you have come very late, and from today onwards you will call me not Count and Orlok, but my lord. Thomas is very scared of him. After this, Count and Orlok invite him for dinner, and while he is cutting bread, Thomas's hand also gets cut. Count and Orlok says that come, I will bandage your hand. Thomas is now very scared, and he is so scared that he faints, and when he regains consciousness, there is no one around him. He starts searching for Count and Orlok. There is a lot of darkness in the whole fort, and now Count and Orlok comes to Thomas. He has made some documents in another language. He tells Thomas that I have written in this that I am buying a new house through your agency. You have to sign it. However, Thomas does not sign. He does not want to do it, but due to fear of Count and Orlok and greed for money, he signs it. Count Orlok tells him that he wants to see the locket that he has, and when Thomas gives him his wife Ellen's locket, he keeps that locket. Thomas does not return it, but now he gives him gold coins which are his commission. Thomas now wants to return home from here. That is why he asks Count and Orlok to give him his locket back, and then his eyes open. Actually, this was also probably a dream of his. He sees that there are teeth marks of someone on his chest. He is very scared. He goes to the main gate, which is closed. He wants to get out of here, but now he sees a way to a basement. He goes inside that basement where there is a coffin, and when he opens that coffin, there is the dead body of Count and Orlok inside it. But then his eyes open, and Thomas runs away from there seeing this. And now Count Orlok has woken up. He has Thomas's wife Ellen's locket, which he keeps in his hand, and speaks some lines in Latin. And while he is speaking the lines, something starts happening to Ellen. It seems as if someone is controlling him. The Count and Orlok come in their Dracula form and catch Thomas and start drinking his blood. But somehow Thomas manages to run away from there and falls unconscious on the bank of the river. Thomas regains consciousness. There is a lady there who tells Thomas that you have come under the grip of the shadow of the Count and Orlok. You should not go anywhere from this place. But Thomas wants to go to his wife Ellen as soon as possible, because by now he has understood that the Count and Orlok are the masters of the Lord. He has his eyes on his wife Ellen, that's why he leaves that place. At the same time, we are shown Ellen whose health is very bad. That's why the doctor comes to check him up. This is the same doctor who is also treating the man whom we saw doing a ritual with the book in the beginning of the story. This man's name is Nok, and he is the servant of Count Orlok. He can do anything for Count Orlok, and now he has realized that Count Orlok is going to come soon. At the same time, we are shown the coffin of Count Orlok, which is inside the ship, and then rats start coming out from inside Count Orlok's coffin, due to which the plague disease spreads in the whole ship and people start dying there. Wherever Count Orlok goes, he brings destruction with him. A man in the ship realizes that there is something inside this coffin, that's why he goes to the coffin with an axe, but as soon as he opens its lid, Count Orlok, who is a vampire, kills him. At the same time, a professor comes to Ellen, whom the doctor tells to kill. The professor has called him. He sees Alan, who is tied with a ribbon. He unties Alan and asks him many questions with great love. Alan says that sometimes I feel that my soul leaves my body and goes to some other world. Even before marriage I used to have many dreams. I always felt lonely. But after marrying Thomas, my whole world changed. But now, once again, I have very bad dreams, which are more terrifying than before, and then something starts happening to him. And now, he tells the professor that Alan's soul is not in this world, but in some other world. Someone has controlled him. He does not have any mental illness. Actually, till now, the doctor was thinking that he has some mental illness. But even after the professor tells the truth, Thomas's friend here does not believe him. He and his wife think that Alan will come back from depression due to Thomas going away, and she will become completely normal. But now the doctor is convinced. Whatever the professor is saying is absolutely correct, and then Alan gets up from his bed and goes to the door where Thomas is lying unconscious. They bring Thomas inside, where the doctor and the professor treat him. We are shown the ship in which Count Orlok's coffin is. Now it has reached the edge of the city where Thomas lives with his wife Alan. The condition of that ship is very bad. All its passengers and workers have died. Actually, plague had spread in it due to rats, and now the same rats spread in the city, due to which the plague disease has spread in the entire city. Actually, wherever Count and Orlok go, similar destruction occurs. The servant of Count and Orlok here, whose name is Nok, also understands that Count Orlok has come to the city. He goes to him. Count Orlok tells him that I have come here to take Alan with me, but I cannot take him with me by force. He will have to come with me on his own will. That is why we have to do something so that he becomes my friend. People are dying in the whole city, and now the doctor and the professor examine a dead body. They are surprised to see that there is not even a drop of blood inside the body. The professor understands that this is the work of some demon, and he is sure that Nok will know something about this. But when he goes to meet Nok, he comes to know that Nok has escaped from his cell a night before, and now he tells the doctor that we have to find Nok at any cost. Only he can tell us the truth, and even now Thomas's friend does not believe his words, while we are shown Count Orlok, who keeps an eye on the whole city, due to which people die in many houses. Also, Alan has a dream at night in which the Count and Orlok are in front of him. He tells him that your husband Thomas has made a deal with me in which he has bequeathed you to me. Now you have to come with me, or else after 3 days, all the people who are very close to you in your life will start dying. Actually, Thomas will go to meet Count Orlok. Alan had gone to the fort of Thomas and made him sign some papers, which according to Count Orlok were property papers. But the truth was that those papers said that Alan had been bequeathed to Count Orlok by Thomas. In the dream, Count Orlok tell Alan that you are not a human, and that is why you cannot live among humans, but Alan refuses to go with him. She says that I cannot go with you. I do not love you. I love my husband, Thomas. From the conversation of these two, it seems as if they already know each other, and then Alan opens his eyes and sees that the wife of Thomas's friend, who was sleeping with him, has fallen down from the bed and rats are attacking her. Alan screams loudly after seeing this. Alan wants to tell Thomas's friend and his wife about Count Orlok, but he does not believe her words and says that both of you should go back to your home from here, after which Thomas and Alan have to return to their home. The doctor and the professor are shown who want to find Nauk, because they know that he is the only one who can tell them about the Count Orlok, and when they go to the library, the professor finds the same book on which Nauk was writing something about the Count Orlok during the ritual, and now the professor understands that Thomas and his wife Ellen's life is in danger, so he goes to Thomas's friend's house. But after going there, he finds out that he has thrown both of them out of his house. He tries to explain to him that he is a vampire, but even then, Thomas's friend does not believe him. The professor tells Thomas's friend that at any cost, we have to send Count Orlok back from here to the place from where he came, or he has to be killed during the day, because during the day, he sleeps in his coffin, and even now Thomas's friend does not believe his words, whereas Thomas is shown at his home, who tells Alan that we will have to leave this city, and now Alan tells him that I want to tell you a truth of my life. When I was a teenager, I woke up Count Orlok by calling him, to which he said that you are mine, and I replied, yes. I had made a kind of deal with Count Orlok, to fulfill which he has come here. Actually, Alan was a kind of psychic girl, who used to connect with different entities before marriage and make physical relationship with them, and she had made a similar promise with Count Orlok, but when she got married to Thomas, she forgot everything. She loves Thomas very much, and now wants to stay with him forever. But Count Orlok has come to take her with him, as per the promise, and then we see that Alan's eyes start turning, and Thomas does not leave her, rather goes closer to her, after which she becomes normal in a short time. The professor now comes to Thomas's house. He has come to know that if they have to kill Count Orlok, then there is only one way, and that is Thomas. And now Professor, Doctor, and Thomas, all three together want to find the coffin of Count Orlok, so that Thomas can kill him by attacking his heart, and before leaving, the professor tells Alan that the evils that are inside a human being are also outside him. A human being should end the evils inside him. You are the only one who can help us in killing Count Orlok. You have to work with courage and truth. After this, all three of them leave. Thomas comes to know that his friend has ended his life in the shock of his family's death, and now Doctor, Professor, and Thomas, all three of them reach the place where Thomas had gone to Count Orlok to deal with the property. There is the coffin of Count Orlok, and when they open it, inside it is not Count Orlok, but his servant Nauk. The professor, who was looking for a long time, understands that Count Orlok is outside and must have gone to Alan. Alan calls Count Orlok. Count Orlok comes to him. Alan says that I will fulfill the promise I made to you. Both of them come close to each other, after which he starts biting Alan's body and drinking blood. Actually, this is a sign of unity that now both of them have become one. Many hours pass, and now the sun starts rising, and when the rays of the sun fall on Count Orlok from the window, he is killed due to those rays because vampires cannot tolerate sunlight. He dies, but at the same time Alan's blood has also decreased a lot, due to which he also dies. When Thomas comes back home, he sees that Count Orlok has been killed, but at the same time Alan also dies, which makes him very sad. The entire city, where till now the plague had spread due to Count Orlok, is now completely cured. It has happened that Alan killed the Count Orlok by sacrificing his life because he knew that it was his mistake that the Count Orlok had come here. So this was the complete story of this movie. We hope that you liked this story. Hope you liked my explanation. So do like the video and subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comment what you think about this movie. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.